Hey, and welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you are new. So in today's video, it's going to be a recap of the month of May, as well as just a little bit into what we have planned for June. I'm going to start off with like more personal stuff, and I will end with the homeschool stuff. So the month of May was packed. We had so much going on, and it was just really cool because the weather finally started getting warmer. Toward the end of May, it did get cold again, but the weather was starting to get nice, so we were out being able to just be in our yard, explore a little bit more. If you are new to my channel, we just moved to our home about 6 months ago, so this is our first time being in this home for the spring, and the previous owners did a lot with the garden. So we are seeing what is popping up and what is blooming, and just learning about all of the different things that are growing. So that has been really cool to experience, and the girls have really enjoyed that as well. Along with their bird interest, they really took an interest in the garden. So it was very cool that when we had our housewarming party this month, my aunt gifted the girls a little greenhouse that we now have in the homeschool room. So that was one thing that happened in May. We finally had our housewarming. When we moved in, again, it was fall and then winter, and we just really wanted to feel a little more settled because we were doing a lot of work on the house. So we waited about 6 months before having our housewarming, and that was pretty perfect because the weather was better and we felt a lot more settled, so it was a lot less stressful. I really am glad that we waited before doing that. Another thing that happened in May was Mother's Day. So for me, I like to spend Mother's Day with just time to myself doing what I want to do. So though we all had breakfast together, Evan took the girls to his mom's house and they spent Mother's Day with her, and I sat outside and read my book and enjoyed a mimosa and just had me time. So that was really nice. I got the time with my family, but I also got a lot of time to myself. I thought we were going to be done with any of the bigger renovations for a while. We started doing a little bit of work in the basement, and that has quickly just become a pretty big project. So we started that, and that is going to roll through the summer probably. We've got a lot of things that we're trying to do on our own, as well as some things that we are hiring out. But again, that is going to be a bigger project than we originally had planned for. So I'm excited to see what the basement looks like when everything is decided and done. One of the not so great things that happened in May was Alanis sprained her foot, and it was in the most random way. So if your child has injured themselves like in some sort of unexpected, wild way, let me know in the comments, because she literally slipped on like an instruction sheet for her rainbow loom. She just slipped on the paper. It was in her room, like on a carpeted floor, and just landed wrong on her foot. Ended up spraining her foot. She was okay, but she had to sit out for soccer, had to sit out for gymnastics, had to sit out for tennis, like missed a few activities, but she's fine. She was for a while saying that it did bother her, like for longer than we expected, and the doctor had told us that if that was the case, then she might have to do physical therapy. But I think it was more of a hesitancy to the pain. She didn't end up needing any additional therapy. She's just fine now. But it was just such a random injury. So I know that kids get hurt in all different ways. But if you have a just random, how did my kid do that story, leave it in the comments. Toward the end of May, we took a big family trip to Avalon. This is something we did last year. I vlogged about it. This is something that we did again this year, and I will have another vlog going up about it. It was really great, and I won't go into too much detail because I did vlog, but it was really nice to be able to go to the Cape May Zoo. We went to the Wetlands Institute. We did mini golf. We did a lot of things. The weather wasn't great. It wasn't like sit out and play at the beach kind of weather, so we tried to do some other things, but it was a really nice time with family. And then at the end of the month, my parents came in. If you're new to my channel, my parents live between Florida and the Bahamas, so we do not see them as much as I would like to, but it was really nice to see them at the end of the month. All right, so on to homeschool stuff. The one big thing that happened, well, there were a lot of things, but one of the big things that happened in May for our homeschool was getting our caterpillars. So we get our caterpillars through Insect Lore, and we've really enjoyed doing this. This is only our second year doing it, but we've had a lot of fun. Last year I tied it to a whole unit study, so we've just really enjoyed it. My girls love getting the caterpillars and watching them eventually become butterflies and releasing them. It's a whole experience. I highly recommend it. So that is something that we did in the month of May. I'm pausing right now because I can hear the cardinal at our window feeder. We got a window feeder. I can't remember if that was in May or if it was before then, but the cardinals are always so loud when they come to the feeder. So I always know if it's a cardinal at our feeder, but I'm distracted because that's all I can hear right now. But what I was going to say is we got the greenhouse that I was talking about. We made sure to put that in the homeschool room, and the girls have been enjoying that, but we are gonna have to move those out soon. So we just have some like hands in the dirt experience coming up with planting that. We've got a lot of other things that we need to plant that have been in our house for way too long. So I am excited to get more into that in June. It was nice in May watching all of these things grow inside our home, but we really do need to get them outside. As I said, we did have some cold days in May, so the temperature like really dropped. I think everything's good to go now. May was also the girls' theater performance. Again, it was a busy month for us. So the girls did theater in the fall and they've done theater in the spring, and their performance was like a junior version of Frozen. It was super cute. They had a lot of fun. And I look forward to them doing the camp in the summer as well because they really enjoy theater. The biggest thing for our homeschool in May was that we did hit our 180 days, which are required by our state. We are still continuing. I talked in a previous video about that. We're still doing curriculum, but we are done for the requirements of our state. And then the two other things that I want to mention for homeschool for the month of May, Alani did a composting class with worms. She learned all about compost. She learned all about worm compost. Now she wants her own worm compost box. So that is something I don't think we're gonna do this year because our garden's just not where we want it to be this year. It just was something that we didn't have time to put the effort and energy into. But I do think next year we will definitely look into the worm compost box for her. If I remember, I will link it in the description below so that you can check it out. But she really enjoyed that. She's not, I would say both of my girls aren't thrilled with most bugs, but they do love worms. And then right at the end of the month, we did a gardening class. So that was at a local farm by us, and the girls were able to learn about the different parts of a plant, which Alani already knows that kind of stuff, but they learned about the different parts of the plant, and they got to plant something that they wanted, whether it was squash or sunflowers. There were a few different options. Both of my girls chose to do sunflower seeds, so we have those actually also that we need to plant. We've got them inside for now. And then it was nice because it was hosted by a local arboretum, and now we actually have tickets to the arboretum because they gave those out at the class. So again, May was full of fun, full of excitement, full of events, and I'm really looking forward to June. June is Alani's birthday. June is also Evan's birthday and Father's Day, so another busy month. And June, at the end of June, is going to be the start of summer camps for Alani. She's got a good 5 weeks of summer camps, and the one at June is her dance camp. So I know she's really excited about that. But it feels really good to be closer to summer. My grandmother's opened her pool, so we're gonna be doing all of that fun stuff too. But I would love to hear how May went from you. So if you want to share how your May was, please leave it in the comments. If you did anything similar, I'd love to know. And as always, thank you so much for your support on my channel. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.